Good day everyone, my name is Francis M. Aguilar and today we're going to discuss about the coronavirus here in Covid-19 101. Now let's talk about the coronavirus history. So what is a coronavirus? Coronaviruses are a big family of different viruses. Some of them cause the common cold in people. Others infect animals such as bats, camels, and cattle. But how did SARS-CoV-2, the new coronavirus that causes Covid-19, come into being? Here's what we know about the virus that was first detected in Wuhan, China in late 2019 and has set up a global pandemic. So where did the coronavirus come from? Experts say SARS-CoV-2 originated in bats. That's also how the coronavirus is behind Middle East Respiratory Syndrome or MERS and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome SARS got started. SARS-CoV-2 made the jump to humans at one of Wuhan's open-air wet markets. There were customers buy fresh meat and fish, including animals that are killed on the spot. Some wet markets sell wild or banned species like cobras, wild boars, and raccoon dogs. Crowded conditions can let viruses from different animals swap genes. Sometimes the virus changes so much it can start to infect and spread among people. Still, the Wuhan market didn't sell bats at the time of the outbreak. That's why early suspicion also fell on the pangolins, also called scaly anteaters, which are sold illegally in some markets in China. Some coronaviruses that infect pangolins are similar to SARS-CoV-2. As SARS-CoV-2 spread both inside and outside China, it infected people who have no direct contact with animals. That meant that the virus is transmitted from one human to another. It's now spreading in the US and around the globe, meaning that people are unwittingly catching and passing on the coronavirus. This growing worldwide transmission is what is now a pandemic. So how would a person know if he has a flu or a Covid-19 virus? Influenza and Covid-19 are both contagious respiratory illnesses, but they are caused by different viruses. Covid-19 is caused by infection with the coronavirus first identified in 2019, and flu is caused by infection with influenza viruses. Covid-19 seems to spread more easily than flu. However, as more people become fully vaccinated against Covid-19, the spread of the virus that causes Covid-19 should slow down. Compared to flu, Covid-19 can cause more serious illnesses in some people. Covid-19 can also take longer before people show symptoms, and people can be contagious for longer. Because some of the symptoms of flu, Covid-19, and other respiratory illnesses are similar, the difference between them cannot be made based on the symptoms alone. Testing is needed to tell what the illness is and to confirm a diagnosis. People can be infected with both flu and the virus that causes Covid-19 at the same time, and have symptoms of both influenza and Covid-19. While more is learned every day about Covid-19 and the virus that causes it, there are still things such as post-Covid conditions that are unknown. There are different tests for Covid-19 and they work in different ways. Both the molecular test and the rapid antigen test involve swabbing your nose or throat. Both look for different parts of the virus that cause Covid-19. The molecular test such as PCR looks for material from inside the virus called RNA. It may take time to run this test, but when it is ready, the result is very precise. The rapid antigen test looks for parts of the virus called antigens. It is much quicker, less precise, but still informative. With both of these tests as a positive, result means that you are infected now. Whether you have symptoms or not, you might transmit the virus, so isolate yourself to others. Blood test identifies antibodies that are responding to the virus, that looks for pieces of the virus, and the other proteins called antibodies. Your immune system produces these antibodies when you encounter a virus, and they remain on guard circulating in your blood for some time to protect against a new infection. A positive test means that you have been in contact with the virus in the past, whether or not you actually felt sick. Be careful, this test does not determine if you have the virus now, only that you had it in the past. Thanks to this test, you can protect yourself and others while continuing to apply the 5 prevention measures. Even you recovered from COVID-19, you still need to apply the 5 prevention measures. The first one is keep your distance 1 meter apart. The second one is clean your hands properly. The third one is cough or sneeze into your elbow. The fourth one is wear a mask. And the last one is open a window. With this, you are sure that you cannot spread the virus again to other people. And after knowing the test to be used in order to know if you have a COVID-19, let's move on to the top 6 vaccine for COVID-19. And the first vaccine is the Moderna, wherein the technology used is mRNA, which is a new type of vaccine which uses messenger RNA, which contains instructions for human cells to make proteins that mimic part of the coronavirus to trigger an immune response. The efficacy of this vaccine is 95% and its price is $33 per dose, and the dose required is 2 doses. And the second vaccine is the Pfizer-BioNTech that also used mRNA technology, wherein the new mRNA technology tricks the body into making the viral protein itself, which in turn triggers an immune response. It also have 95% efficacy, but it's much cheaper than Moderna because its price is only $20 per dose, and like Moderna, you need also 2 doses of Pfizer-BioNTech. Third in our list is the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine, where it uses viral vector, which means they are using genetically modified virus. When injected, the vaccine instructs human cells to produce the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein that immune system main target in coronaviruses. Its efficacy is 62 to 90%, and the price is $4 to $5 per dose, and you need 2 doses of this vaccine. And the fourth one is the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This vaccine uses a cold virus to deliver genetic material from the coronavirus into the body to prompt an immune response. Its efficacy is 90% and its price is $10 per dose, and doses required for this vaccine is 1 only. You just need 1 dose for this vaccine. And the fifth vaccine is the Sputnik 5, and its technology is adenoviral vector based platform, where the technology delivers the genetic instructions for SARS-CoV-2 antigens directly into the patient's cells, triggering an immune response, and its efficacy is 91.4%. And its price is $10 per dose, and you need 2 doses of this vaccine. And the last vaccine in our list is the Sinovac, where the technology used is inactivated vaccine, which means it used a dead COVID-19 virus itself to trigger an immune response, and its efficiency is 50 to 70% rather, varies in tested country, and its price is $5 per dose, and the doses required is 2 doses, and that is the top 6 COVID vaccine in the world. To ensure its efficacy, it's undergo many stages of clinical trials in order to have a good results.
So far, about 100 million people have been infected by COVID-19 worldwide, and the disease has claimed the lives of more than 2 million people. Today, a variety of vaccines have become available to effectively control the pandemic. The main difference between modern and traditional COVID-19 vaccines is that the modern mRNA vaccines do not contain the whole virus, but only the blueprint of an important component of it, called the spike protein. With the vaccine, only this blueprint, a short piece of RNA, enters our body without altering our genetic code. This small RNA sequence, when injected into the muscle, initiates the production of spike proteins, and then it degrades. With traditional vaccines, the viral proteins, including the key spike protein, are injected into the muscle, usually in the form of inactivated viruses. The subsequent process is similar for all vaccine types. Immune cells patrolling the body present the spike protein as a foreign material to the helper T cells, the conductors of the immune system. These T cells alert the executors of the immune reaction, the killer cells, and the antibody-producing cells. These cells are capable of protecting our bodies from the attack of the virus, while also creating memory cells that remember the spike proteins of the coronavirus, which are prepared for a later virus attack. The most important outcome of vaccination is the development of immune memory. If the coronavirus attacks after this, it has little chance of success. Antibodies cover the virus and thus prevent it from binding to our cells to cause infection. Cells that have already been infected are ruthlessly destroyed by killer cells, along with the viruses inside. With vaccination, 90% of the infections do not develop into a disease, and if they do, the course of the disease is much milder than without vaccination. These coronavirus vaccines have been given to several million people worldwide who have become protected against the development of the disease. The only efficient tool to eradicate the pandemic is vaccination. So get vaccinated and continue to keep the rules of social distancing and wearing a mask. Do not forget to wash your hands thoroughly and regularly. You can get detailed information on vaccines from your treating doctor or GP or the doctor.
The 5 things to know about the Delta variant. The first one is that Delta is more contagious than the other virus strains. The second is unvaccinated people is at risk. Number 3, Delta could lead to hyperlocal outbreaks. And 4, there's still more to learn about Delta. And lastly, vaccination is the best protection against Delta variant. Thank you for watching. COVID-19 101.